Morning. First, our main news this morning. The Queen has opened a Commonwealth Summit in the Australian city of Perth. The 54-nation organisation, which represents 2 billion people around the globe, will discuss economic growth, climate change and human rights.
There will also be a debate on reforms to the British monarchy. Leaders are expected to pledge to overturn the 300-year-old succession laws, so firstborn daughter can take the throne ahead of any brothers.
It was one of those welcomes which tried to do everything. Traditional in its portrayal of Australia's heritage, contemporary in the way the heads of government came to the stage.
The Right Honourable David Cameron, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
For a moment it could have been a TV reality show, except of course that it isn't. For the Commonwealth, the reality is that it needs to find a new relevance for the future and resolve one issue from the past concerning the British monarchy. The 16 nations which have the Queen as head of state have decided that in future, daughters should have equal rights to succeed to the throne as sons. The Queen, the head of the Commonwealth, urged the leaders to be bold and to remember the principle that women should have equality.
It encourages us to find ways to allow girls and women to play their full part.
And why is it necessary to make this change now? Because the Queen's grandson, William, has married.
Well, I think the time has come to change the rules so that if the royal couple have a girl rather than a boy, then that little girl would be our Queen.
The 16 countries who have the Queen as their head of state are expected to back the changes, which will also lift the ban on the heir to the throne marrying a Roman Catholic.
And we can get more now from Nicholas Witchell, who is in Perth. Very good morning to you, Nick. So is this all likely to happen?
Good morning. Well, apparently it is, yes. There appears to be a consensus amongst these 16 countries. Now, this isn't something that affects the Commonwealth as a whole. Only these 16, their realms, as they're known, the UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, amongst them. They will be having a meeting, the heads of government of those countries, later today, and it is understood that there is now a consensus for these changes, but of course they're enormously complex. There has to be a unanimity among these 16 countries, and then the legislators and the lawyers have to set to work to actually unpick some of this 400-year-old legislation and make these amendments. But there seems to be the will now to do it.
Is it likely to ruffle any feathers, Nick?
I don't think it will now. Certainly not the changes to the laws of succession. There may still be some who feel that it is not appropriate for the heir to the throne to marry a Roman Catholic, but as David Cameron and others have pointed out, it is a very odd situation if the heir to the throne can marry somebody of any other faith or any other denomination and not a Roman Catholic. So that is, again, one of these fundamental and historic changes that the heads of government are wanting to make.
OK, Nicholas Witchell, thank you. Nicholas reporting from Perth there. And